Just fucking head down like fucking. So story time on how I whooped a bitch's ass in 6th grade for talking shit and making up a bunch of fake rumors about me and my friend group. So I whooped her ass, dragged her down the stairs, and put her head in a fucking toilet. Okay, before starting these rumors up about me, yes, this was in 6th grade. This was years ago. Don't think this is a flex, because it's not. And don't be on my dick about this shit, alright? And this story time was a request by Naomi, who told me, how did this ghetto phase start? So let me tell you, this was my first ever fight. And girl, this started my entire ghetto phase. So let me tell you exactly how this shit went down. Okay, so this girl, let's give you a little background information on this girl. Her name will be like Hairbrush. Okay, so in 6th grade, I was fresh out of elementary school, and the only friend group I had were my friends from elementary, obviously. So I stuck with them, and we were a whole friend group, and we always stayed together. We were tight like this. But this one girl, they met her in like, I guess, one of their classes, and they just started bringing her around the friend group. And I didn't know her because I was in gifted magnet classes, and they were regular classes, so I didn't know who she was. But like low-key, the more she started hanging out with us, the more iffy I got about her, because she was just mad weird. And like she always tried acting like she always tried to act like she was a shit when she wasn't. Like low-key back then, I used to be mad aggressive with everybody. I didn't give a fuck. I was just doing my own thing. Obviously, my friend group went through a lot of trauma. They have their own personal experiences that obviously I'm not gonna state in this video. But you could tell, they have trauma, and they've been through, a lot of shit with people, you know? Which was crazy, because we're only in 6th grade at this point. Mind you, 6th grade. And before this, we used to share, all this shit with her. Before we got close to her, we used to tell her, our personal shit, just so she would know. But she would always give, this off feeling. She would always be she looked, very, uncomfortable when we talked about it, because she basically just doesn't know how to handle that experience or whatever. That's literally what she said at one point. And then as soon as she starts hanging out with our friend group more and more and more, it's getting to the end of the school year, right? And I'm still at this point, I'm still I'm more iffy than I was before. I don't know, I did not like this girl. I did not like her. I did not want to be near her. I didn't want to be her friend. But obviously, I felt bad defriending someone like that, especially if they're part of a friend group and she only talks to us. So I was just okay, whatever, I'll suck it up for this year. That was until she started saying lies. She started saying that she started becoming all suicidal, talking about just randomly trauma dumping and basically taking our stories and making them her own. If I were to say fucking my dog died, she'll be oh yeah, my dog died. If I were to say my dad left, her dad left. Because one time she told us that her brother killed himself, and we were literally comforting her, watching her cry, and we were literally comforting her. We'll walk you to the gate, because she was about to get picked up by her parents, and we're oh, we'll go walk you to your gate, because we already seen your parents, we'll go walk you. And she was oh, no, don't come. And we were just okay, but that's kind of weird, because we always walk her. And lo and behold, it's her fucking brother. She only has one brother, and she told us this, she only has one brother, and that's the brother that killed himself. So what the fuck is your brother doing there? Plus, we've seen his face before. Even when she was caught in those fucking lies, she never stopped, ever. She lied so much, it was just insane. And we caught on to everything. We just didn't want to say anything, because she was our friend, you know? And then I remember, I forgot what happened, but I heard a rumor about me and my friends, and I kid you not, I forgot what this rumor was, but the person that told me it came from her. And that's when I got all mad, and I was so pressed. I was just bro, I'm trying to be the nicest person to you, even though I don't fucking like you, and you're over here talking shit, you know? I had enough of all of that shit, and I went up to her in the after school program. I went up to her, and I was just bro, I was okay, so what's up? You're over here talking shit about me, and I'm trying to be a good friend to you, but you're really getting on my nerves. I was you gonna admit that shit to my face, or are we gonna fight this shit out? You know? And mind you, I was in 6th grade. I had no hands. I had no squabbles. I had no nothing. I just had aggression, bro. And she's denying. And then I finally get her to admit that shit to me. And I was like, okay, so then what's up? Like, you know, I was like, okay, so then what's up? Like, you want to talk shit so bad. I'm here now. I'm in your face. So let's fight. And she was like, I'm not going to fight you. Like, da 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 da. There's like a balcony. And there's stairs going down. And it's kind of like hidden in a way. And I kid you not, like, I was arguing with her in her face. My friends were downstairs watching me, like, recording this shit. And I was like, okay, so what's up? I throw a shitty ass it landed though. That's all that matters. It landed. I was like, and she, like, kind of, like, backed away. And then I grabbed her by her hair. I, like, yanked her down. And she kind of, like, fell on her knees. Like, and started, I literally, kid you not, grabbed her and I started dragging her down the stairs, and she was fucking head down, like, fucking. And I was beating her ass, and then, like, next to the auditorium, there's restrooms. So then I started beating her in her fucking shit, bro. And then, like, I dragged her to the restroom, and then, look, kid you not, low-key, my friends jumped in. Like, they started jumping. They're like. So, anyways, she's on the ground. We're beating her at. Hold up. We started jumping her in the restroom where, like, no staff was looking. And then after that, I told her, like, you gonna keep talking shit or what? And she was just like, at this point, I think she was, like, crying or something. She was, like, crying or whatever. And then I was just like, no, you wanted to talk shit, da 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 da. I was so mad. Like, I don't even know how I even got this mad. And then I dragged her up. I made her sit up because she was, like, laying on the floor, and I grabbed her by her hair and I made her sit up. And then after that, I put her head, like, her whole body against the fucking toilet, and I was shoving her head, and I was just like, say that shit one more time. I was yelling, bro. I was like, say that shit one more. And at this point, like, I think my friends felt bad, and low-key, like, I don't know what the fuck was wrong with me. Like, I was just crashing out, and they, like, pulled me off of her, and then, like, after that, she just, like, left the restroom. And that's how I whipped her, basically. Low-key, like, I don't know what the fuck happened, but right after that, like, she went home, and I literally did not hear from her, like, after that, like, just silence. But if that's all you gotta do to shut a bitch up, then, and yes, I am sorry about everything that I did, but you know what, like, sometimes bitches have to get what they deserve. But yeah, I love you guys so much. Thank you for watching my story times. Bye, guys.